Hello everyone. Today we're going to go through the responsive web design projects. So the first one on here is build a tribute page, and we want to make it functionally similar to this page right here. It's just like a person who saved 1 billion lives and then his life, and that's the whole page basically. And it's a Wikipedia page that this guy made with HTML. So don't worry about these tests over here. We just want to make the page here. They did this on CodePen.io. So we could do it on CodePen, or we could do it on Visual Studio Code. I prefer Visual Studio Code, but CodePen.io is like really simple. It just doesn't allow you to do as much stuff as Visual Studio Code does. So for this tutorial, we're going to want to get Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code, you just download it off the internet. It's a product by Microsoft. So yeah, just download it for your computer. Download for Mac, and then you'll be able to run this. And then it should open up something like this, and then to like get started on a new file, you can go over to this file icon, and then open the open folder, and then you can like create a new folder, or just like wherever you want it to be. So yeah, I'll just make a new folder here, I think, if I can, a folder, and I'll do FreeCodeCamp. First project, sure. Create that and open it, and should just have an empty folder. And then this is where we want to create our files. And this is where we're gonna actually like write our HTML code and CSS code. We're not gonna do any JavaScript today, just HTML and CSS for this web page. So to get started, I want to make a new file and call it index.html, and then this is what it's going to run. In Visual Studio Code, there's a thing called emit, and that just allows shortcuts. This is why I wanted to use Visual Studio Code and not CodePen, because CodePen doesn't have any shortcuts, like any snippets built in or anything. It's just like you got to memorize everything that you do. So Visual Studio Code is a lot nicer for developing code. So now we have our boilerplate. That's what this is, just basic, to get started. And we want to add some stuff onto this, and the way to see what it looks like. So if I like type something in here like hello world, okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Like when you right click, it doesn't like say anything like run this file in the browser or anything. What you actually have to do is you have to go to the extensions. Okay, yeah, the extension that you want is live server. So it's been downloaded a bunch of times. So just install that, and then I don't know if you have to exit out of Visual Studio and then go back in or not, but there it's enabled globally, and now I can go back to this file, and now when I right click, it says open with live server. So that wasn't there before, but now it is. So now I can open it up with live server, and there we go. There's our document. It says hello world. Simple as that. So that's really great right there. We made some progress here. Now let's get started making this tribute page. So yeah, let's do it on Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love basketball, so like LeBron was my favorite player. Now it's Giannis. But we can make a web page to tribute him, basically. So a lot of times what we see developers do is they have this running on like one half, and then they have Visual Studio Code open on the other half. So I'll do that just like so. So that way, whenever we save here, it automatically updates over here, and then we can just like keep working. So if I type something like save this, and then I save with Command S, you save file, then it automatically updates over here. I also have the prettier extension, code formatter. Just install it. It's been downloaded a crap ton of times as well, so very cool for formatting your HTML. So to get started here, we want to probably make a container. Also, we should probably get some CSS going. So just make a new file and call it index.css or style.css, it doesn't really matter. Style.css, and then in index, what we want to do is have a link to it. So with Emmet, you can just write link and then enter, and it has like, it just writes this out for you. It thinks it's a style sheet, which it is. That's what we're going to have. And then the href is you want to do dot for the same directory you're in, so the same folder that you're in. That's where it's in. So you just hit style.css. You can do style.css or /style.css. I think it's the same thing. Maybe it's not, but I like to do / just in case. And then we can like write styles on this. So maybe if I make body and then background black, see if that does anything, just to see if it works. So save that, save both of them, and there we go. Now our background is black, so that's awesome. Just extend that a little bit. Okay. What background should we have? Should we have a black background? Like F5 or something. That's like a really light gray right there. Alright, so that's our background in our body. And then we can just start writing about Giannis, I guess. We can do dot. This is another Emmet thing where it just assumes that you want a div because it's the most used HTML element. So you can do dot, and then anything after the dot becomes class in there. So actually, I should make this bigger if I can. I think I can do Control plus, no, Command plus. Yeah, Command plus makes your text bigger. So that's pretty cool. I actually want to do Command minus quick. Okay, hopefully that's big enough. I don't really like this here. There we go. Now we can just see this index.html, and then to switch back over to the style.css, we can do Command P and then just switch over. Or you can like search for it. If you have a lot of files, this is way faster than searching for it in the actual files thing. So I would recommend doing that. Let's see what our thing looks like. Just blank, right? And okay, so here I just made a div with a class container. Doesn't do anything for now. And then I have a header, which is header is the same thing as div, except we know that it's header then. So it's just like a naming convention. So I have my header, my section, and my footer. I didn't save this. Now there's my sections. So I think what I want to do first is lay it out nice. So like the header will take up this section here, and then we'll have the section parts take up like 3 little sections here probably. Either that or like it'll be a grid. So if it's too thin, if the screen's too thin, then it will drop down probably. And then the footer will obviously be a footer at the bottom that says like copyright 2020 or whatnot. I don't know. What does this thing have for footer? Yeah, footer is just like go read about it in Wikipedia. So you could do that. So I'll show you what I did once I get that laid out. Okay, so now it looks like this. We have my header and then my 3 section pieces and then my footer down here. The way we did this is first we wanted to turn off the default margin padding that like the browser gives you or something. and just set that to 0 so we don't have to worry about that. We can like set our custom values. We want the body to be a height of 100 view height, so that'll just make it take up the whole page basically. The header, so this header right here, we want it to be font size 40, bold, font weight, background white, and padding. So the padding makes it gives it space in between here and here. So that's 0.4 EM and text line center, so put the text in the center. And then section, these 3 sections here, we have a margin on them so they don't hit right up next to the edge. The height is 83 view height, so it pushes the footer down basically. That's why I did that. And then we have display grid, and we did grid template columns of repeat autofit, min-max 300 pixels, 1FR. And that just makes it so that it's more responsive. So if I go down, then the sections stack. If I go wider, then they're right next to each other. So that's pretty cool. I could make this like maybe 400 pixels. Maybe that would make more sense. So that way it gives us more space in between these sections. I should also probably center them. So I will center them. I think I can just do text line center. I'm not sure though. Okay, yeah, just text line center. Centers them up. That looks a lot better. And the footer is basically the same thing as the header. Yeah, it's actually exactly the same as the header. So that works. Okay, so now what do we want in this first section? Instead of my section, we probably want an image, maybe. We want maybe a caption. So I'll do like a paragraph text for that. And then, so it'll be like Giannis dunking or something. Giannis dunking. And then section 2, we'll do like a biography maybe. It's like life growing up. So we'll go like a H4 or something. Life growing up. And then that'll have like a paragraph underneath. Maybe a timeline. Could do a timeline with what they did here. So they used a list, so we could do an unordered list. There's a bunch of possibilities there. And then the section 3, we'll do another image probably. And I don't know, what else? Maybe we say another caption of like maybe as a kid. Yeah, I mean that should be fine. Basically I just want to make it look nice. It doesn't really matter what content you have. Like you might not be using Giannis, you might be doing some other person, but we want to get the fundamentals down of like positioning the elements on the page is very important to do, so do correctly. Let's add an image first. So the way to do that, just look up Giannis image. Go to images, and then he's not actually dunking. Maybe I should grab one where he's dunking. Ooh, that's a nice one right there. All right, in that new tab, grab that, and I'll put that in here instead. Some of these are pretty long URLs, but I mean it works. So there he's dunking. Let me just do 300. I wonder if I should have it like actually taking up like a larger area. So I could do width of 100 view width. See what that looks like. Oh, maybe 100%. Is that better? Okay, yeah, 100%, and then we'll give it a height of 500 maybe. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. And then we could put styles on this stuff as well, but I'll just leave it. Let's grab another image of him as a kid. We'll grab this one, sure. Open image, a new tab. grab this URL and put it in the source tag, the source attribute. And now we should have that image. I don't really know why. Oh, it's because I don't even have height and width on this, I think. Height of, we'll go 500 pixels again, and the same thing as the other one. I guess it didn't drop my footer down for some reason. Oh, because the height is stuck at 83 VH. Oh, so I can do min height, I think, and then it'll go bigger if it's bigger than that. So there we go, now my footer's down there. So let's get some text in there for when he was growing up, life growing up, and then this paragraph. So let's just grab a Wikipedia page. Sure, I'll do this one, this paragraph. Just copy that, bring it on over, and save it. Maybe it'll, there we go, prettier made it look a lot nicer there, so that's awesome. Let's see, so there's our paragraph. Looks pretty crappy right now, but we can fix that. Just like do class of my paragraph or paragraph para, and then we can do a dot para here, dot para, and give it some style. So let's make the text bigger, and then we'll go, we'll put some space in between the words. I'll give it a different font. How about, so font family. Yeah, this is another cool thing about Visual Studio Code, is it like autocompletes stuff for you. Instead of CodePen, you gotta memorize everything, which honestly isn't that bad to like start out with, because then you learn a lot better, because you're like forced to memorize. Helvetica and sans serif. Let's see what that looks like. So yeah, the font's a little different there now. I kind of want it to space out a little bit, so I'll just look that up here. Space. So we'll give it a line height. GH2 of, we'll go 10 pixels. See what that looks like. If it's too much. Oh, that's way too little. I guess the font size is 20, so maybe 30. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah. Also, we could probably, so instead of center, we can do text align right or left. Align left. There we go. Go into index, and there should be a way to like text indent. Oh, okay. I can do text indent. Okay, let's try that. Text indent. Yeah. Usually there's something for like anything you can think of. Usually there's a property for it. So just gotta look that up. So 50 pixels. See if that worked. Yep, there we go. Now we have some space there. So looks like a real paragraph now. The only thing is this life growing up. So to select that, since I made an H4, I can just do H4. And we'll make the font size a lot bigger. Font size, we'll make like 50 pixels. That might be too big actually. Let's go like 30 pixels. Yeah, that's better. Life growing up. For now, I think this is a good start. So that was my build a tribute page. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do. Oh, it has all these user stories that they want you to do as well. So, for example, like make a target blank to this website. So that's pretty easy. Just copy this. And then in the index, we can go down into the footer and say, do a div or whatnot. And then do a link. So A, and then put the link in there and say more about Giannis. Yeah. And then now there's a link down in the footer, except it's super huge because because I made that style really stupidly. I can do like all anchor tags be a font size of 20 pixels. Should drop it down. Yeah. Probably can't see that very well. Yeah. More about Giannis, and then it'll open up. Actually, it won't because I got to do target blank on it. So just go into here, and inside the A, we'll go target equals underscore blank. And now, when we go into this and we do more about Giannis, it opens up a new page for Wikipedia. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just follow these user stories, and you can like copy and paste this code onto CodePen, and it should run just fine. I just like doing it in here because of all the little helpers that it gives, like emit, and it like autocomplete stuff for you. Definitely helps with CSS too. You start typing in, it has all these properties you can pick from, so that's awesome. But yeah, I think that will be it for me today. Build a survey form. Let's see what this one looks like quick. So yeah, we'll make a form next time. So thanks for watching. See ya.